U.S. President Donald Trump has staunchly defended the sweeping tariffs on imports that have sent shockwaves through global financial markets. He remarked, "Sometimes you have to take medicine to address a problem," emphasizing his belief in the necessity of these measures. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One late Sunday, Trump expressed optimism that jobs and investments would return to the United States, envisioning a future in which the nation becomes wealthier than ever before. His top officials have reiterated that the tariffs, announced just the previous week, will be implemented as planned, downplaying concerns about a potential recession. Following Trump's remarks, stock markets in Asia experienced significant declines early on Monday. Japan's Nikkei 225 index plummeted by 6.3%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng index suffered a staggering loss of 9.8%. On the preceding Friday, all three major stock indices in the U.S. experienced declines exceeding 5%, with the S&P 500 dropping nearly 6%. This marked the worst week for the U.S. stock market since 2020. Saudi Arabia's stock exchange, which operates on Sundays, also saw a significant downturn, closing nearly 7% lower, its largest daily loss since the onset of the pandemic, according to state-run media. In light of these developments, U.S. banking giant J.P. Morgan has projected a 60% likelihood of a recession in both the U.S. and global economies following the announcement of Trump's tariffs. While aboard the presidential plane en route back to Washington, D.C., Trump asserted that European and Asian nations were eager to negotiate a deal. He also pushed back against a reporter's question regarding American consumers' pain threshold amid rising fears of steep price increases and a looming market recession. "I think your question is utterly foolish," he responded sharply. "I don't want anything to decline, but sometimes you have to take medicine to remedy a situation." In a series of television interviews earlier that Sunday, Trump's high-ranking officials continued to downplay the recent downturn in the stock market. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stated on NBC's Meet the Press that there was no reason to anticipate a recession as a direct consequence of the tariffs. "This is simply an adjustment process," he added, maintaining a positive outlook. Bessent also noted that Trump has created maximum leverage for himself, revealing that more than 50 countries have approached the administration with requests to lower their non-tariff trade barriers, reduce their tariffs, and cease currency manipulation. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick further emphasized during an appearance on CBS News that the 10% baseline tariff on all imports, which took effect the day prior, would remain in place for the foreseeable future. He affirmed that the steeper reciprocal tariffs were also set to proceed as planned.
"I think it's like $1.1 trillion, and I want that solved. And no other president's taken it on. I had to take it on the last time. And then we had a rigged election. No other president's taking it on. And so China is, they say the market's spoken. China is right now taking a big hit because everyone knows we're right. They have to pay tariffs because otherwise we have a surplus, and they have a surplus with us that is not sustainable."
Mr. President.
And we're talking about $1 trillion, you know that, right? We're not going to lose $1 trillion for the privilege of buying pencils from China.
On the idea